Do you remember this sound? For years, it was everywhere, in classrooms, in offices, in taxis, and in the pockets of hundreds of millions of people around the world. If you owned a mobile phone in the early 2000s, there was a good chance it was a Nokia. The company wasn't just successful, it was unstoppable. Its phones were famous for their incredible battery life, their legendary durability, and their simple design. People joked that a Nokia could survive being dropped from a building and still work perfectly. But while Nokia was busy dominating the mobile phone industry, something was changing. A revolution was coming, and Nokia never saw it coming. Just a few years later, the world's largest phone company would lose everything. So what happened? How did the company that connected billions of people become nearly forgotten? This is the rise and fall of Nokia. To understand Nokia's fall, we first need to understand just how powerful it was. Nokia wasn't always a technology company. It actually started in Finland in 1865 as a paper mill. Over the decades, it experimented with everything from rubber products to electronics. But in the 1990s, Nokia found its future: mobile phones, and it became incredibly good at making them. While competitors struggled to create reliable devices, Nokia focused on what people actually wanted: phones that worked, phones with long battery life, phones that were easy to use. The strategy worked. By the early 2000s, Nokia was the undisputed king of mobile phones. Its market share was massive, its profits were soaring, and its products were everywhere. Then came the Nokia 3310, a device that would become one of the most iconic phones ever made. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't powerful, but it was reliable, and people loved it. The Nokia brand became a symbol of trust. For millions of people, Nokia wasn't just a phone. It was their first connection to the digital world. But while Nokia dominated hardware, the future was quietly changing. The internet was becoming more important. Software was becoming more important. And consumers wanted more than calls and text messages. Then came January 2007. Apple introduced the iPhone. At first glance, it looked strange. No physical keyboard, almost no buttons, just a giant touchscreen. Many industry experts weren't impressed. Even inside Nokia, executives believed they still understood the market better than Apple. After all, Nokia sold hundreds of millions of phones every year. Why would customers suddenly abandon everything they knew? But Apple wasn't simply building a phone. It was building a new way of using technology. The smartphone was becoming a computer, and Nokia wasn't prepared for what came next. As the iPhone gained momentum and Android devices spread across the world, Nokia's position began to weaken. Customers started expecting touchscreens, apps, internet services, digital ecosystems, things Nokia struggled to deliver. Inside the company, problems were growing. Projects moved slowly. Departments competed with each other. Decision-making became increasingly difficult. Then, in 2011, Nokia's new CEO Stephen Elop sent a message that became famous. It was called the Burning Platform Memo. In it, he compared Nokia to a man standing on a burning oil platform. Stay where you are and you'll burn. Jump into the freezing ocean and you might survive. The message was clear. Nokia was in serious trouble. The company knew it was losing. But knowing the problem and solving it are two very different things. Faced with a crisis, Nokia made a dramatic decision. Instead of improving its own smartphone software, it partnered with Microsoft. Together, they launched the Lumia smartphone line. The phones looked beautiful. Reviews were often positive. But there was one major problem: apps. Developers focused on iPhone and Android. Consumers wanted the apps their friends were using. And without those apps, Lumia struggled to attract buyers. The smartphone market had already chosen its winners: Apple and Android. Nokia was simply too late. In 2013, Microsoft agreed to buy Nokia's mobile phone division. For many people, it felt like the end of an era. The company that once dominated the industry was giving up the business that made it famous. But unlike many fallen technology companies, Nokia didn't disappear. It reinvented itself. Today, Nokia focuses on telecommunications infrastructure, network equipment, cloud technology, cybersecurity, and 5G networks. While consumers no longer see Nokia phones everywhere, much of the world's communication infrastructure still depends on technology built by Nokia. The company survived. It simply moved into the background. Nokia's story isn't really about phones. It's about change. At one point, Nokia seemed unbeatable. Its products were loved, its market share was enormous, and its future looked secure. But technology moves fast, sometimes faster than even the biggest companies can adapt. The lesson is simple. Success today doesn't guarantee success tomorrow, because in technology, no one stays on top forever. And somewhere right now, another industry leader may be facing its own burning platform.